Oh, it's just started before I've meant it. Right, whatever, because I don't want to be here all day. So if you're watching this one, I'll have probably uploaded the other one first. But really this is what it's all about. So let's just shuffle those cards here, check. So I want to pull a card for where the Divine Feminine's at. And where the Divine Masculine's at. Again, if it hits your situation, great. If not, be happy it helped someone out there. Because people that are in these situations really fucking need it. Right, okay, so right, where are those cards? See, it's just so tempting, I just want to fucking use them all now. Now let's just put them aside, right? I was clearly sure I've been getting shown yesterday, but because I had quite a bit, oh my god, look, right, let's get that negativity out of the way. There's too many obstacles right now. Well, it's a brand new day, so let's see what energy comes out. For fuck's sake, look, let's just do that. So we're just any distraction, but again, all the things will be relevant. What am I doing? Oh look, surrender. Oh wow. See how that? I haven't even fucking shuffled. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Oh, by the way, I can't be bothered doing an intro, so I've not really got an intro anymore. Like, but my name's Claire, and this is all healing, and it's for twin flames, and bloody blah. Just watch the other video. Listen, it's because Pisces, we're now in Pisces sun and moon. So to be blunt, whenever the moon is in Pisces, I want to hide for the couple of days that's there. Can you hear that wee kid in this there? That's a good. That's so fun. That means something. Oh my god, they're pulling me in there. I'm gonna use my children's cards over here because that means something. Right. Oh, here they are. Oh right, look. I must have been, it's because I've been finally tidying up in here, and there's the Twin Flame Ascension cards. I think they do want me to use them. Right, there's someone out there's going to know in the morning, so you'll know in the morning, so stop worrying. When you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. And that really scarily fits for Pisces sun and moon, and also because it's a dark moon, because it's the new moon on Tuesday along with the spring equinox. Again, the spring equinox, when I googled it, it was actually saying it's Monday, but to me it's, you know, that powerful energy, it's Tuesday, because it's the new moon in Aries is Tuesday. I can't remember the exact time. I think it's sometime in the afternoon in the UK, so check for wherever in your part of the world. But it's big energy, huge change, but right now it's about stillness, it's about meditating, it's about being, surrendering, absolutely the power of prayer. And that's what I was saying in another video. I didn't realise I only had 10 minutes on that. But again, that'll mean something. I'm clearing the energy, clearing the energy, but it's clearing the storage on it right now. And this is my everyday phone. But time's running out, or you feel like time's running out, or someone feels like time's running out in a connection. And but this is about you and your twin flame, that, you know, you've eventually on this journey, you've got to, and I just looked at free ascended masters are supporting you, you've got to get to the conclusion that you can't do somebody's healing for them, like they have to heal themselves, you know. And it's, you'll have got to that conclusion with many others in your life, like, you know, it's this, you know, this won't be a news flash to you, but you'll repeat the same cycles over and over again, that you'll have gotten to a point where you're like, I wish this person would just listen to me, but it's like you've got to do it yourself, or they've got to do it themselves, right? So I haven't really got the words for this because the Pisces energy just makes me really sleepy. Like it was really funny actually. I was almost asleep, and then I just got led to just something for myself and then now there's no point in, like, I'm making my tea, and then I'll eat and probably go back to sleep. And again, that's what this energy is all about. But oh yeah, and sorry, happy Mother's Day to everyone that celebrates that. And it's only in the UK. I know that'll confuse people in other parts of the world because America's Mother's Day, and who knows where else. But this is the majority of my clients are in America, so I think it's sometime in May. So, but yeah. And again, it's only if you celebrate anything, because you've got to, bear in mind this will be a painful time for a lot of people. Those of you that can't have kids, or that have lost kids, or that your mum's not here, you know. So I'm sending love to everyone in that position, and that's more what I'll be focusing on tomorrow's Mediumship Monday, provided I'm actually feeling better, because that's what I was saying in another video. I had a bit of a temperature last night, probably because I was out and about in the matrix amongst a whole lot of people, you know, which I don't do a lot. So and for once, my wee nieces, you know, didn't have bogey noses and all that, but I was on the bus, so you never know what you can catch on the bus. But anyway, so yeah, so just there's this going on. It's about either you realising that you've done enough, and your person needs, I'm just going to say your person, your twin flame, needs to take accountability for their own healing, which I'm sure they are doing. And so it's important not to judge that, because your healing is different from their healing. You know, it's the same, it's different. It's like that card you're merging, but oh yeah, because look, here's a coyote. Yeah, so don't be tricked by thinking that the healing isn't going on, because really, like with Divine Masculines right now in the collective, what's going on is, if this is you, if you're Divine Masculine, regardless of gender, and again, I'll say this, but I know this because this is what I've supported people with for years, people that are all different parts of the timelines, people that are long gone out of karmic, abusive situations with romantic partners, family, friends, people getting bullied at work, all of that, people that are still in it, people that are making plans, you know, people that can't even see they're in that yet, you know, it's all different, and that's what this is about. And oh right, I get it, yeah. So I can't remember how long ago, but it was quite a few months ago, and I was getting all these downloads, and I'd done a collective shamanic journey about it, to help, well, the souls that were ready for it. And so basically, I don't really know how to put in words, like, but again, that's either you feeling like you don't know how to put how you're feeling into words, or your twin feeling like that. But again, everyone feels like that in Pisces. But actually now Mercury, planet communication, shifted into Aries. That'll be some passionate communication. Remember, it could be anger too. So passion, desire, fire. It's just energy, it's change, you know. Whereas Mercury in Pisces is very floaty, very dreamy, very mystical. But it's also confusion, illusion, and it's lies, you know, is the shadow side of it. So so be aware of that, actually. Yeah, where communications have happened, because I can really feel they're saying that to me. Beware of the trick of the mind there, or even people outright lying. Like when people are backed into a corner, they can just lie. It's a common thing, and if you're not confident within yourself to be able to spot a lie, and you, like, say your self-esteem isn't built up enough to be like, you're lying. Like, do you know what I mean? You know, just what, in whatever situation, but I can feel there's stuff like that going on. You could be like, well, I'm just got to, you know, take that to be the truth. And, you know, having been in these situations myself with loads of different areas of life over the years, you do just have to, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, if someone doesn't want to be your friend anymore, you have to take that as the truth. If somebody doesn't want to be romantically involved with you or hanging out or anything, you have to take that as the truth. Even if you're like, I kind of feel like they like me, but they're running as far away as they possibly can, and it feels like they hate me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's in all seriousness, guys. I do remember that much. That is the twin flame journey. It can seriously feel like your twin hates you, which isn't so nice. But it's just it's all the darkness coming up to the surface to shift out. And when they get to that point of their healing, your twin, as long as it's your true twin, will realise that it was all the addictions and the mask of the people around them that are wearing, that was encouraging them to be wearing a mask. What does it say? Whether you're addicted to substance, food, people, sex, overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction, replace it with healthier alternatives. So again, you see what I mean? They're showing you there's different people at different parts of the timeline. When that alchemy takes place, I love how they're just pulling me to things that are lying about because they're on tired. Then that communication can happen. Look, this is what I've just said, communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being, and it will be that, because it will take so much for those of you that have kept that all inside to communicate from the depths of your being. But for now, you don't need to do anything. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Right, okay. So, inner child card, because of the kid crying in the stair, which again, whenever I hear a child crying when I'm doing a personal session or a video, it always has meaning, and it does feel a lot of your inner childs are in that place of really needing that healing. So make sure you check out my inner child soul retrieval, the one with the red jumper. I think it's got the most views. Because again, I don't get big views, but that is one of my bigger. It's maybe got like, I don't know, last time I looked it was either 200 or 300 on. It's a powerful one, and a lot of people still like to use that as their go-to when they need their strength. So it's real. Or the more recent one there, what I started saying in the other video, I didn't have time, was casting out the darkness. I'm refraining from saying demons because I think that's going to scare a few people that you know, but it's true, it is, you know, whether you call it your own demons, other demon entities that have attached to you, because remember, the spirit of jealousy can be around people, the spirit of envy, the spirit of procrastination, the spirit of confusion, and that's basically that's what I'm saying about the coyote medicine's more kind of playful trickster, although I say all the time I do not care for that kind of practical joke on people, but the Hoyoka medicine is very playful and jokester, and I am that. I'm definitely, and actually I can, depending on my mood, I could go into the coyote medicine a bit if they wanted me to channel that, but what I'm saying is, it's not, it doesn't matter if you do it, it's not fun to receive it, do you know what I mean? And it's never, what I'm saying, it's not a nasty energy, you know, it just depends. That's the whole trick of the coyote. It depends which way you look at it. It was there to teach you a lesson as a twin flame. 1144. Oh, it's a bit all very interesting, and it doesn't make sense, but it's like fuck you when you're in it. Anyway, sorry. Right, give us the inner child message. White feather. That feels very shamanic, doesn't it? When you find the wet fat. Pardon. What was I going to say there? A white feather, I don't know what I was trying to say there. When you find a white feather, your angels are very close. My angels are close to me. If you do not find a feather, draw a picture of one. Because remember, this is for children, but I mean, you might want to. Oh, I know there's loads of artists that tune into me. Perhaps you did draw a feather recently. Tree angel. Tree wisdom has been coming through a lot. I remember, I'm not joking when I say I was a tree in one of my past lives, a very old ancient tree. And other people have picked up on it before, like without me saying it. When you hug a tree, the tree angel is happy. The tree angel loves me. Okay, that's about grounding. Hearing you. When you talk to the angels, they always listen. My angels are listening to me. Right, okay, so someone's inner child needed that. And remember, twin flames are very much about your inner child, because that's why I would say if you want... oh, it's like that saying, if you want to find out if you're enlightened, go and spend a weekend with your family. But I would just change it to your twin flame, you know what I mean? And you'll know if you haven't, like, healed something within you, like, you know, that really needs healing if you're around your twin flame, because all the shit will just keep surfacing, you know, all the triggers. And it doesn't mean you're like, all right, see you later, I'll see you in another 10 years kind of thing. You know, it just depends on where you're at in your journey. It can just be a matter of realising that, and what helps it, like rebirth, personal freedom unleashed, is when both people, not just one, when both people realise what this is about, and that you're here to transmute the pain, you know, your own, both of your pain, both of your wounds, and that's usually why one is going to have a lot of knowledge about that to help the other, and then whatever the knowledgeable one about the healing has, the other one is going to have these amazing, probably entrepreneurial ideas or skills already, or practicals, or you know, or actually lots of mystical healing abilities too. You know, that are often hidden in what I find the mask, because that's what I bring out in a lot of the masculine energies. And it's just the reason they weren't sharing it. There's the 1010 is really significant. It just keeps coming up again and again and again. So look out for the, you know, October coming being significant, or, you know, the 1010 date is significant. Practice self-love, nurture your inner child. I was thinking this was a bit itty-bitty kind of, I was like, oh, I'll just stop, I'm that sleepy. But see how it is all tying in. The bits and bobs will make sense to people. Nurture your inner child right now and stay grounded. Oh, that's what I said too. Because it's not me, I'm just being a channel. And clear your energy blocks, activating the higher chakras. Right, okay, don't do that. Right, okay, so see when I just wanted to use one card for each, because I'm going to read them out. Let me just, before I forget to though, right, where is the Divine Feminine Collective I'm picking up on right now? On their ascension process, right? Where are they at on their ascension process? False twin flame, intense change. Yeah. So where a lot of you are at are, well, basically what it says on the tin. It's like, I feel many of you have been in a situation where you've had this real, what you thought was real, they're saying to me, connection with someone. And it's funny because they're showing me way back in my past when I didn't know what twin flame was, but I did have very strong feelings, and then I met my actual true twin flame. So it's interesting. I'm reading the case, I have to refer way back to a section, but I always have compassion, because I'm aware that then my twin will have went through this too. So whether he's aware of that or not, I'm sure he is. Yeah, but so basically, but some of you are going through it currently, or you've already went through that. I know I've helped people through that. Someone really recently, one of the Zooms I've done, was adamant of who her twin flame was, and I kept getting a sense it wasn't, but I let her work it out for herself. Like, that's what that card's about, you know what I mean? And she did work it out for herself, so you will too. What else for the Take Me Home, Pathway to True Love? Oh, but wait a minute, I need some other cards to clarify that, because I know people are going to be like, what the fuck? Right, basically what they're saying is practice self-love, because if you know who your true twin flame is, that wouldn't worry you, right? Because I was like, what are you showing people that for? But it's just like, that just shows you how much work, that just shows you how much work you've still got to do if you would believe that someone isn't your twin flame just because that it's a test. There you go. Oh my god, it's a coyote trick. You know what I mean? Right, there was something else about that. But for some it is reality, yeah. Look, because the soul merger is taking place, like the card that I showed, and you'll need to watch the last video. You'll know when your soul's merged with that person. You'll be sensing them all around you. You know what I mean? Right, okay. Where's the Divine Masculine at? Stop playing with us, coyote. Let's put it away, it's because they've got it. Right. Divine Masculine's ascension process. Yeah, look, they're being guided home too, but I think I don't think I can feel that their process is very rocky, very, very rocky. But it's still the pathway to true love, so don't judge the pathway. 11. And we've got Twin Flame Facilitator, Expansive Growth. That card came out last time. It's just saying that there's going to be huge shifts around the 4th of April, which isn't long away now. It'll be a 4-4 portal, more stability coming in, unions, because the 4 is about union too. And just huge soul growth for the Divine Masculines. We're very proud of you. Release, raise and reclaim. They're reprogramming their soul. They're probably either going to healers for that, like a lot of you come to me or anyone else you resonate with, or you're doing that yourself by finding YouTube stuff and that. But you're basically realising that the program you've been running on hasn't been helpful. Yeah, and it's you know now that you're being guided back to your twin flame, and that everything is possible, and that when you do that, you'll align with abundance that you've possibly worried about with your Divine Feminine, because that's how your abundance comes in, because of you being together. You'll receive the cosmic intelligence that you need when you make the move. There's the 10-10 again. Right, very interesting. Right, okay, so now, and oh yeah, that's, where is it? No, I don't know. I was going to say that's card event, but I don't wait a minute. I was wondering, what else do we know from this deck? Give us, what can we ask? Tell me something that, oh, let go. It didn't even let me get the words out. I was about to say, tell me something that's going to relieve the stress or the pain. I'm not shitting you. And someone out there, and that jumped out. Let go of stress. Don't take on other people's stress. Breathe it out now. Because that's what everyone does in Pisces season. And drink more water. That's why they were getting me to tell a story in the last one about, which I feel I had to temperature because I was dehydrated, by the way. So, because I'm usually, when I'm in the house, I drink loads of water, and it was just because I was out and about, I hadn't drank enough. Right. And just one step at a time, because Pisces energy can be overwhelming. Lots of little steps make the big dreams come true. But this is what I said the other day. I think I put that download up, I can't remember. But I think I wrote it. I get confused. It's basically when I said a lot of the twin flame divine masculines, they cannot see how the dream can come together. Some of them are awake and they want to be with you, but there's so much interference and people going against it that they just, how can this possibly come together? It's just I'm hearing other people's voices being like, it's too good to be true, you know, you're daydreaming, that's all going to fall to shit anyway, like, you know, and that's just because they're stuck in that program of things not working out. Do you want that to be yours? And it's like what Michelle said earlier, you know, I can't remember what you said, but I think it was along the lines of, you know, thinking positive, you know, everything's working out, everything is working out for you. If you believe everything's working out, it is. If you go down the doom and gloom, it won't. Quite simple. Finish what you started. You started something important and now it's time to complete it, and that's your twin flame journey. Pets may be significant, like power animals coming and support you, animals in spirit worth waiting for, your patience will be rewarded. Creative, draw, paint, think and act in creative ways. But this, what I'm always pulled to, forget that's a wee girl, this could be anyone, a wee girl, a wee boy, your inner child. She doesn't see that there's all this potential behind her, this creative energy. Like, she looks really sad, so that's you, or it's your twin, or it's both of you. And when you finish what you started, look, there is something about pets today. You love and understand animals. I was just talking about animals with someone. Focus on gratitude. Think about the people and things you're grateful for, and the changes you're going through are positive. This is always my Dark Knight of Soul card though. Just with that black horse, it's always meant that to me over the years. Great changes taking place. You're curious. The twin that was more asleep to all the confusion around this is getting curious. Start a project related to something you're curious about. And just remember, look, brothers and sisters, to have, so wherever there's been any kind of turbulent energy, which there definitely has, to get along with others, see the love and the best within them. And I'm pretty sure, look, if I do that, twin flame, everything's possible. Yeah, so that's very unconditional love. And just be yourself. You're a great person, enjoy being yourself. And if you feel like you've let yourself down lately, whoever is resonating with that, it's because of the company you keep, is what Spirit's saying to me. And again, it's like, I think we've all been in a place where, well, again, I know I say it all the time, but it's true. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time around. So, if you notice that there's this energy around people, like, again, it's like what I'm saying, some people have got the energies of dark spirits around them. It doesn't mean they're dark, it means they need to learn about clearing their energy and that. It's like if somebody is a heavy drinker, or even just anybody that drinks, like you're opening up to demons. You are, like, you know, through alcohol. So I don't drink anymore. Quite simply, I'm not saying you need to go that far, but it is true. You're like, hey, come in, I'll be your host, you know. I'm totally floating about outside my body right now. So, one to be aware of. Right, okay. Where is the divine feminine right now in the physical? Luminosity. This is crazy, right? Guys, and self-respect. You're learning self-respect. So I feel you're being very tested. And anybody that has been disrespectful, you're really having to shine that light on that darkness and have your boundaries up. That's what Pisces is about. I'm saying it's crazy because I caught somebody else reading this from the book the other day, and I was like, I need to just read that anyway, even if I don't pick it. But now I've picked it. So that's just total confirmation. So, because it was really beautiful, right? And I've opened it up at the page. So this is, Divine Feminines need to hear this, but Divine Masculines, you need to hear this for your feelings, because we've all got Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. When a woman glows from within, she naturally attracts a chivalrous male. I'm not kidding, guys. The guy from the garage. That's the guy from the garage. I've got wee nicknames for all my cards. I can't see anything else when I pull that card. You'll get that if you watch the last one, because he came out. So someone's popping up on you unexpectedly. It may have already happened, or it's gonna. When you're, it might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. Let us know. When you're connected to your Divine Feminine, you become luminous. Your true nature shines from within and you glow. See how that can go for you, Divine Feminine, if that's your main sort of energy, or the Divine Masculines allowing their feelings, allowing the feelings to surface for their Divine Feminine, where others have encouraged you to let that go because it's just a crazy dream. It's not, it's the truth. The luminous woman is the feminine counterpart. Oh my god. Okay, that's really weird because I did not know that. The videos have split up into 2 separate bits, and the luminous woman is the feminine counterpart to the chivalrous male, aka the guy that's gone to the garage last minute for the flowers. So there is something coming together here very last minute is what I'm getting. And it is definitely not everyone, because there's a lot of shit going off for many twin flames, but it's whenever this happens in the timeline, it is a thing. So right, okay. They're attracted to one another, complement, support and nurture each other. That's blown my mind, but me not knowing that until I read this in the book is that literally means something for someone watching this. It's like, again, yeah, you may not have realised someone was your twin flame, or someone in the connection didn't realise how important this connection actually was until now. And possibly even you're getting the light codes and energy through watching this right now, because that is what I deliver to people, if it's your message. In this modern age, it can be quite difficult for a woman to find her luminous centre and live from that place, because we've fallen into the trap of believing we're supposed to have, be, and do it all the time. Yeah, so beware of that kind of programming of independent woman, fuck you men, all men are the same. Listen, I know there's a lot of guys doing very questionable stuff out there, but there are good ones too, and even the good ones can come out of that distorted energy and turn to fine. So, and there's a lot of women that men don't trust women because they're doing shitty stuff, so it's just it's one and the same. And people can change, you know what I mean? Rebirth, that's what this is all about. That's what Jesus is about, forgiveness. And that's what everything I always put out there is about, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect, people piss me off, people massively test my self-respect in all areas of my life, but I always forgive the people, even if I don't want people in my life again. But it takes a lot for me to do that, right? So what this usually means is that the woman takes too much upon herself and tries to fill the roles of the men in her life instead of asking for their help. Yep, so be aware of that. Being luminous requires poise. It is worth the extra effort of patience at first, if that is required. Usually what is most effective is an adjustment of perspective. A luminous woman asks for what she needs with respect for the other person's time and feelings, then goes about her day confident that her request will be responded to. If it takes a little longer than she hoped, she does not become overbearing or critical. She simply focuses on her own life and what she's able to do. But you see, I'm laughing, but that is about this connection's worth waiting for. So that could be, perhaps you do need to reach out to your twin flame for some reason, like because you just feel a strong pull that either you need to do it or they need you, and it might not be the best outcome, but then you just kind of get on with what you're meant to do and you trust, oh, this is just what we're meant to be learning at this time, and you don't fall into that desperate energy. She simply focuses on her own life and what she's able to do, thus creating a positive space for the chivalrous male to step into. If you don't sort of let go of the energy. What is it again? I keep hearing this. It's on a YouTube advert or something, and they talk about resistance and electricity. And I don't know because I'm not an electrician, but it's far from it. I deal with a different kind of energy, right? But it's basically, I don't know. It's something about wires, and if you push, it's like if you don't pull back. I'm getting something. If you don't pull back, it doesn't create the resistance to create the electricity, or something like some shit like that. But it's just, I like the analogy for this. It's give something a bit of breathing space. Whether we like it or not, the responsibility of going first lies with the feminine. Yeah, and this is what I feel many people don't understand this journey. So this is why I was like, oh, I really want to read that out, people. As very few men will continue to be chivalrous in the space of a woman who isn't luminous to some degree. Being luminous requires practice, as the feminine helps you to let go of your old patterns of taking over, micromanaging, or insisting things be done your way. Okay, we're taking that on board out there. Women and men, anyone that really overly identifies with that, because I'm sure that actually really fitted in with one of the other cards about the addictions it did, overworking. And we can all fall into that, right? I can be built guilty on that in a bad week too, but most of the time I'm trying to fall into the luminous woman. Not feeling too, well, I don't know, I am actually. I wasn't, and now I do. See, it's because I'm doing this, I'm feeling a nice energy, I don't know how to describe it. Right. You've drawn this card today because the luminous woman in you is calling out for attention, urging you to be graceful and to incorporate some luminous energy into your busy day. Choose one small thing that can imbue with your luminosity today. Put your request out there and give thanks for it being done. Again, this is about gratitude, what I said with that gratitude. Be grateful for the things that haven't happened yet, and just be open for what comes about. Because praying is that kind of different. You know, some people, it's like desperate, like, please help me. You know, it's like everything's went tits up and you're like, help me, help me, help me. But this is why I pray every day, because pray when things are good and great as well. Like, give thanks for what you've already got and what you want more of. Don't just start desperately praying and asking for help when everything's going tits up. Which, again, don't worry, because that is where most people turn to God and higher powers. But you know what I'm saying? That's what this, and this is definitely what this Sun and Moon and Pisces is about. That would be difficult to have that placement, actually. Has any of you got that? That would be really difficult. But magical, too. You know what I mean? It's just... yeah, everyone chooses their soul path. For men, this means that the feminine energy is working within and through you in positive ways. But it may not feel like that at first. Again, it might feel like all the shit's coming up to the surface. And if you push that down, that's going to be ugly, basically. Feel the ways you can become more connected to your heart and able to express your feelings more freely. Oh, I really feel that's going to help whoever needed that out there, right? So, feminines, keep shining bright and remember your self-respect, because you're helping your masculine. Basically, oh, that's what I started blathering on about. So when I done a shamanic journey for the collective about this, I don't know, it was 6 months ago, 9 months ago, something like that. It was basically, they told me that many of the masculines, your karmic energy in your life, like the big main one that's a thorn in your side, or a couple of main ones, whatever their outside appearance may be, like they're in your life to teach you to stand up for yourself. It's to show you where you don't stand up for yourself, where you don't speak up. And it's kind of like, they're giving me an example of, like, say you know you're in love with your twin flame, and you've even had visions of your life together, and you speak out loud to someone in your life, whether it be, well, obviously it wouldn't be the romantic partner, because, yeah, I don't know what the setup would be there if you were, oh yeah, I'm really in love with this other person, so I'm kind of considering fucking off from you and going to get it, you know what I mean? I think the conversation would go like that, but say you say it to like a family member or a friend or someone at work, and it could be simple, something as simple as they're like, yeah, well, that's all very nice, but I think you're living in La La Land, and then that might have reference to the film, and I haven't watched that the whole way through, because again, I don't like that, because I feel that was a film putting out there that kind of, you don't get the dream. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why I don't like the film, because you can get the dream. I've literally helped people that have got the dream. Do you know what I mean? I've helped them get the dream. Twin flame, everything is possible. So, but yeah, it's gaslighting. You know, it can be, like I said before, it could be the spirit of jealousy around that person. So they could love you, but it could, like, you know, as a family member or a friend, but if they never had that themselves, a part of them may be like, why should you get that when I never, as it gets to 33 minutes? So just be very aware of that. That can be hard to admit if that's you out there. So sorry if I'm triggering you, but it is the message that's coming out. Right, okay. Happens to the best of us, right? Where is the divine masculine at? And the physical to go with the luminous woman and the self-respect card. If the guy from the garage pops out this time, we're going to be mind blown, but he came out in the last video, so it's good enough for me. See how that was in the right? I love it. What's on the bottom of this? Serendipity. See, there's going to be a serendipitous meeting that you could have arranged, or you might just bump into each other. And I did say that in the last video. And again, I feel things like this are being pushed together because of this need for the clearing the energy of the connection. And look, I just feel this person's been flooded with songs that the words remind them of you, or it reminds you of them both. Someone's wanting to send a message perhaps when they've had a drink, or again, this could have already happened to their sacred woman, because they're now seeing how you are compatible. Something's clearing where they couldn't see that with like sexual freedom. Again, it's like it might have just been around. I feel people will have like really strict, oh, because they're showing me friends with benefits now, like, but if you actually, if you've seen that film, although they'd start, you know, although it does start off like an agreement to just like, let's, you know, be friends with benefits, or why it's called that, if you actually watch it, the reason they get together in is because they're friends. Okay, they're friends not for that long, but you know, they're friends, best mate kind of energy. They've just met, and then they start sleeping with each other. But what I always find funny about that is like the first few times it's like, you know, it's all kind of like one-upmanship and it's kind of awkward, and then it's because they've gotten intimate, and I don't mean in that way, it's like they've gotten to know each other and they've spoken about things and they've been like, I like this, you like that, blah, 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 and they basically fall in love with each other, right? It's no fucking rocket science. But then you see how the guy in the film really retracts back, you know, like it's kind of like he's like, oh shit, what's happening here, you know, this wasn't the deal kind of thing. And then anyway, yeah, that's a very good example of Twin Flames. So there's probably lots of significance in that film for those of you. I know that there is for me, right down to the songs and everything, Soul Sister and blah 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 blah. Right, that's relevant that was on the bottom of the deck, because what they were saying to me is, it's like, what you don't know, the self-respect card was on the bottom, is the Divine Masculines stepping into this. And what is that in his hand? Oh, it's actually a woman there. But anyway, it's like, look, someone's walking towards their kingdom, and there's 2 love hearts on here. And the light is being shone down, I feel, from... So I think this is a Divine Masculine. Forget what sex it is, because some of these are same sex. But it's like the light is being shone from their Divine Feminine, and they're walking towards the magical castle. It's like they're saying to me, it's like that kind of... It is make-believe. It's like, this is too good to be true. Like, you don't get the person where that's amazing, and you can be intimate, and you can be safe. But there she is, though. There's the luminous woman. And that we get her abundance, like... Because for whoever this is relevant to, I've only ever been used to the distorted masculine, or I've been in distorted masculine, or the distorted feminine, because there's a card that says that too. Right, okay. Let's just read self-respect. I'm reading all of them. But that means something, because that was the one that was, you know, that's why they made me show you it. It's like the Divine Feminines and the Luminous Woman, and self-respect is rising in the masculine. Oh my god, I just opened the page of that, right? Okay, there is no need to compromise your self-respect for love or security. That's basically what I'm saying. The karmic partners have been teaching currently, or have done, but I think it's currently for a lot of people. But it's not for, you know, my clients that have got out of these situations, but you could easily then fall into other dynamics where you let people take advantage of you, so be careful. Be humble, would I always say, be humble. I need that on a t-shirt, be humble. I'm going to start doing merch soon, by the way. I've wrote all my things down that I say all the time, and it's I'm going to do that soon now. It's getting an Aries season. But, well, I don't know about soon, because I don't know if, you know what I mean, when I've not got that many people right now, but I don't know how I'll put it out there. Yeah, that's reminding me of the King of Wands. Somebody's passionate about you. Right. But yeah, your karmics have been teaching you, or your twin, but you've both had karmics, self-respect basically. It's both been teaching you where you need to respect yourself more. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to finish it up. And I really genuinely hope that this really, really helped whoever needed it, because you fucking dragged me out my bed. You're welcome. I love you. You're my soul family. Whether but I need to rest my... Oh, my alarm's going off. I need to turn that off. It'll drive me nuts. My tea. Right, okay. What's this on the floor there, kilometre? Problems that have... Oh, look, this is magical. This is definitely for someone out there. Problems that have held you back are being cleared. We're monitoring it. And there's the 31st again. So I feel the 31st of March is significant for either a shift in the energies, or it's just significant in some other way. But again, we're well into Aries season by then, so that's why it's significant for all of us. So Divine Masculines, whether you're in a relationship or not, self-respect is the key to how other people perceive and treat you. Sometimes self-respect may seem to take you down a lonely road, but even that part of the journey is worthwhile. So again, it's basically what is coming through from the Divine is those of you beating yourself up for getting involved with the wrong kind of guy, or the wrong kind of woman, or the false twin flames, or it's all part of your path, and it's all a big test for you to be like, no, this is my true twin flame. Like, I know who the other half of my soul is. Even if it's just one of you that's sure of it, somebody needs to have that certainty, because if none of you have got it, you're screwed. It's a bit like why I always say one of my favourite, I know all James Arthur songs are my favourites, but one of my real favourites is that certain that I'm yours, because it just says it over and over again. Like, I'm certain, I'm not certain of everything, but I'm certain that I'm yours, you know what I mean? Right. And then also in that song, it's got a bit about, and that's really interesting because when I first came across that a very, very long time ago, because I remember someone had done a mashup of Dear John and a few other romantic films. A lot of the karmic stuff in my life, I was totally asleep to. Like, I was totally asleep to what I'm not now. In that bit of the song, it's got like, you know, it's got something about let's ignore them, I adore you. And it's kind of like, I feel that is about, there's so much noise in your head from other people or others' projection. Even if people don't say it, you can feel it coming off them, that they think you're a bit nuts for believing in that kind of love, especially if you knew each other when you were younger and you've kind of went off in different areas and stuff like that. And then which can then actually make you or your twin repeat the same things and then think that is actually how they feel, but it's not. It's just actually their fear speaking. That's what I'm being told. Right, okay. So but again, if you're in that situation, you don't chase after them being like, you can't see what I can see, we're meant to be. No, because that is crazy, right? Even if you're right, don't fucking do that, guys. Please don't do that. No matter how much you feel, just don't do that. Just shine your light. Whether you're shining your light the way that I do, or you're shining your light because you're just whatever it is you're having fun doing in your life and it lights you up and usually helps other people. But always, that's why I always say, I've said this for the past 7-8 years I've done lives, or however when live started, I think I always add a few years on. Even if you make people laugh, like what I said about the Hayoka kind of empath energy, it's or however I would normally say it's like massage moon energy, that is healing. So just when you light up, your twin will feel that you're in that luminous energy and it will help them, and eventually it will help bring them to not be so scared of that intimacy. Because basically the karmic energy have taught them to be terrified of intimacy because it's not safe. I'm going to get hurt. But that's not true, because not everyone's going to hurt you. Well, we all hurt each other. There's that famous quote, you know, you've just got to find the ones worth hurting for. Like, we all can trigger each other without meaning it and blah, 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 blah. Right. So assess what is true in this situation. You know, is this person trustworthy? Or are you not trusting them because of all the people that you think you can trust, and actually you're very much in the illusion of this energy right now as I'm filming it on the Sunday. Make time for self-love. Pull your energy back from everyone so that you know your own heart and mind. And that's, again, that's what soul retrieval is. You're clearing your energy and you're pulling your energy back from wherever your power has been taken. You've allowed your power to be taken. You need to take personal responsibility, and like I said, there's people with way more darker energies than that, and that's when book a session if you trust me, or go and find a shaman. And not even, it's like what I said before, there's loads of people that do shamanic work, but they actually can't deal with the dark stuff, so you need to use your discernment there. Right. I need to explain that actually. Like, what I'm saying is, you could go and get a Reiki healing, right? But you could still feel like crap, and it's probably because you've got a real dark spirit around you. That a Reiki practitioner, like, you know, they're not, I don't like the word qualified, but it's just not in their soul contract to be able to sniff that stuff out. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I loved that review that my soul fan, my client, you know, wrote the other day. And again, I've got loads like that where it's just kind of like, it was a bit of a mystery, but we got down to the bottom of it. And she felt better instantly, you know. But I love her review because it's honest. You know, she did have a couple of days of crying and letting it out, and it wasn't pretty. And I mean, she used the emoji in the toilet, which I found funny, but it's true. You know, like, I always laugh about one of my, I'm not naming any names, but one of my close friends, when I first really was owning all my healing stuff and that, I remember I'd done a healing on her in person, and because me and my pals are just like that, my close ones, it was like, she texted me and she was like, is that normal that I just done the biggest... You can use your imagination. And I was like, yeah, that's perfectly normal. I mean, the shit's got to leave you some way, do you know what I mean? Quite literally. Whether it's vomit or shit. Vomit's really... I don't usually say vomit, but it's, you know, if you actually are sick after a big healing, like that's a real serious one. Like, again, there was somebody, again, I healed, this was years ago, but I always tell the story because it's true. long story short, I done a healing on someone. Again, what I'm trying to say is I don't want to use these words. Yeah, I actually can use these words on here too, but it's yeah, it's kind of like what that video is about. You know what I mean? It's clearing the dark energy, the demons, and calling in the light again. So if someone happens to be actual sick after a healing like that, it's because of what you were holding inside you. You know what I mean? I don't know who needs to fucking hear that, but again, yeah, I don't know who needs to hear that. Right? Okay. If you aren't willing to speak up for what you believe in, walk away from situations that are damaging to you, and act from your own integrity, how can anyone else truly know or care for you? Boom, drop the mic. That is what I've been saying about the karmic partners. It's not pleasant. A lot of it is very painful. They push your boundaries. They speak to you like shit. You let them speak to you like shit. You can't actually see it a lot of time when you're in it and you're like, oh, I love this person. If it's a romantic relationship, you're like, I love this person, the sex is great, but actually this is fucking playing with my emotions, whatever the situation is, or this is my family member, but you know, it's different for different people. It's pain, basically. It's there to buffer you up, and then for you to be like, you know what, no. Whether that's creating more boundaries, or creating boundaries, spending time away, or indefinitely, or then coming back to the situation when the energy's settled. And I just want to tell another story of someone else I helped. I remember I said, look, you're going to have to spend quite a bit of time away from these people because of the situation. I'm being cryptic here, but I do see in time the people will come around, and it'll be better than ever. And long story short, that has happened in that situation. So this is what I'm saying about, depending on the severity of the situations you're in. Yeah, especially with twin flames, especially if there's issues where someone, you know, close people around you doesn't like your twin flame. It just makes sense. You're probably more likely going to have to spend a couple of months at least, if not longer, away from people to let the energy settle. And then when it settles, things can very quickly turn around. I've seen it in my life, I've seen it in clients' lives, and you know, it can happen for you too. So believe. But don't bury your head in the sand, because that's what the sun and the moon and Pisces energy would be about too. So unless you're happy living a lie. That's harsh, but I just heard that. At times, it's tempting to compromise your self-respect for security or survival. As a short-term measure, this may be necessary while you get your life in order, but as a long-term measure, this is unhealthy for you, your heart, and your soul. You've drawn this card today because the universe would like you to have a look at the ways you've compromised yourself in the past or present in order to secure or maintain a relationship. Wow, I feel that's really going to land and hit people there. Again, because that can even be you've compromised your own self-respect for the kids. Like, it's very common. I help people that all the time, and it's, yeah, you know, so forgive yourself. That's understandable, but you cannot do that for the rest of your life, because your kids are seeing you being unhappy, and you're teaching them that that's normal, and it's not. You're meant to be happy. You want your kids to be happy, you know what I mean? Real life and spiritual growth are not about taking the convenient path. In fact, love and spiritual growth often demand that we face challenging situations in order to confirm our commitment to what we say we want. That's why twin flame path is not for the faint of heart. Most people breach their own integrity and compromise their self-respect from time to time. Living a fulfilling life is not about being perfect. It's about acknowledging what is and choosing a healthier course of action from now on. It's kind of like when I've said, like, there's been many times over the years where I've had, like, I can think of a situation where someone was really goading me, and I could see exactly what was happening, and I even said it, and I thought, you know, there's absolutely no fucking point in me saying this. It would be like trying to talk to a drunk person. But in that situation, the person wasn't drunk, but it was like they were under a spell of not realising their own behaviour. So I was just like, the kindest thing to do here is just like not continue the conversation. But actually in that situation, it was kind of like I was pushed to basically swear, you know what I mean? And it's, I don't, obviously I swear all the time, but I mean, like, basically, like, you know, tell somebody back off in a strong way. And yeah, it happens, guys. Forgive yourself, you know. It happens to me. I've no doubt it'll happen in the future too, but it doesn't happen that often with me. When it happens to me, somebody's really fucking crossed the line, you know what I mean? And that's what I've got the self-awareness to know that about myself. But what I'm saying is I'm sharing that to make people feel better, that I'm very compassionate, I'm very forgiving, I'm very loving, I'm very patient. I know what all this is about, but yeah, whenever I've had karmic energies in my life wind me up, I can lose my shit from time to time, and that absolutely happens with your actual twin flame as well. But again, it's happening less and less as you learn that you can trust each other and you're safe to be trusting and opening and admit, because it is you. It is you. Your twin is you. But you only see that when you're meant to, and the other one only sees that when they're meant to. Right. Right. Yeah, and it's about, choosing a healthier course of action from now on. When you live from your truth, a life of integrity and self-respect are the natural outcomes of your angels, spirit guides and the entire universe are standing by to help you attain that level of quantity and fulfillment. Ask for their help and act on their guidance and the urging of your own intuition, gut and heart. Wow. And that is very Pisces energy, you know. And I'm just laughing because these cards make me laugh. I think we need a bit of a laugh, right? Because this can be very doom and gloom, miserable energy. So in all seriousness, please take care of yourself, right? Make time for self-love. Go inwards, hermit. Take care of yourself. Like I said, I'm just going to sleep the rest of the... Well, I probably won't go to sleep now because I won't sleep tonight. But anyway, I'll just do what I'm guided to do. I'm going to eat and then I'll probably just chill out, watching films and then get an early night. And then I'll probably sleep most of Monday, and then I'll do mediumship Monday. You know, I'm grateful I can have a bit of an easy time of it, and if you can, I would very much suggest you do, because the dark moon is the womb space, and it's about trauma. So right, okay, what do we need to know? What is it someone needs to know out here? Fuck. Oh fuck! I'm so annoyed at myself. I'm fucking. Just believe me, right? I swear to God, I'm actually fucking mind blown. Out of all those cards, I was about to say the reason I'm picking up these cards is because they've kept showing me clairvoyantly this card. Fucking apologise. I can't fucking seriously just do it. Right, I'm not going to pull anymore. There's those of you out there that you'll know whether it's like, you'll just know. You need a good fucking cry. This is Pisces energy. It's not funny because fucking a lot of folk are in this. You need a good cry. Get the ugly cry on, let that shit go, your soul will thank you, yeah. I feel wherever there's been harsh words exchanged with whoever in your life, whether you've been doing that with karmic partners, whether you've been doing that with anyone close around you, whether that's been between twins, it's all come from a place of pain. And I feel there's apologies that have came already, they're coming, or you're the one that needs to make it. So trust. Have a lovely Sunday out there, and wow. Huge energy. See you later, guys.